Okay, so we're going to do this segment on how to keep an organized home. First of all, I want you to hug yourself and say, it's okay that I haven't kept the most perfect home my whole life. I forgive myself for that. Doesn't that feel better? So I'm going to start this with the approach, which is the approach that I use for organizing every aspect of life and business, which is life. And it is about removing judgment from your home. There is enough judgment in this world. You don't need to bring it home with you. You experienced enough judgment in your childhood. You don't need to bring it into your adult life with you. You experienced enough judgment yesterday at the office, telling people about your experience at home. You don't need to share your judgment of yourself with other people, because then they're just going to judge themselves too and create the judgment train of not joy. So I'm going to ask you to do something, and it's going to be really hard, but be patient with yourself and don't judge yourself in this process either. But when you come home from work or being out in town or wherever you were when you were not home, I want you to think about how you feel about walking into your home. So, I just got home from grocery shopping. I'm going to walk inside, and instead of just going and doing my thing and unloading all the groceries and moving on to the next thing, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to say, how does this feel? And I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to try to get into my body and say, how does this feel in my body when I walk into my house? And then I want you to think about how you want to feel when you walk into your house. These are the goals that we're trying to achieve in professional organizing. If you're hiring a professional organizer because you feel like your house isn't perfect enough for company, if you are hiring a professional organizer because you are just not sure how other people seem to keep their kitchens clean, or if you are just not sure how to have the perfect wardrobe, or if you are not sure how to have events at your house and it not take like 6 months to clean up afterwards and get ready for the next one. If any of these are your experiences and you've been hiring professional organizers and or you're thinking about hiring a professional organizer, I encourage you to get really clear about what your goal is, because your mind has goals for you and then you have goals for you. And your mind is going to say, I need a whole new kitchen system. I need a whole new, easy button to solve my life's problems. This is how the brain solves things. It's like, can someone just do that for me? And the reality is that you can do that, but you will spend a lot of money on professional organizers trying to get what it is that you think your brain wants. And the reality is that if you ask yourself what change you're actually trying to create in your world and what experience you want to have that's different than the experience that you're having today, that's a much better place to start. It's also easier to build a budget around that. Because implementing an entire new life system is not affordable for anybody. It doesn't matter how much money you have. There isn't enough money. And you can take some of my philosophy classes to learn more about why I say this. But essentially, ask yourself, how do I feel when I walk into my house? How do I want to feel when I walk into my house? And then you know your pain points. When you walk around, what can you not even look at? What is it that you know is there that is waiting on you, that is ugly and creating a mess somewhere, and you don't even want to look at it? Those are the areas that you want to hire a professional organizer to come in, because you can quickly get some results on something that you weren't going to do anyways. And you don't realize how much of an energetic suck, how negatively impacted you are every single time you don't look at that thing. We all have a limited, I am not saying unlimited, I am saying we all have a limited amount of energy. Some of us have less energy than others. And honestly, this is one of my secret powers. One of the reasons why I am so good at what it is that I do is because I have even less energy than most other people. I have discovered this about myself as part of learning about how I respond in certain reactions, how much energy I need, how much sleep I need, who I am down to my bones and up through my muscles. I know this to be true about myself, that I simply do not have the same energy reserves that a lot of other people do. And so I have had to figure out how to be strategic with how I use my energy. And this is the secret to organizing. I'm going to say it again. I am very strategic about how I use my energy. And this is the secret to organizing. It doesn't matter how many Instagram posts I read about color-coded closets. That closet is never going to get color-coded if I am not conserving energy and setting it aside for that project. When's the last time you set a goal for your house and then you laid out a plan on how you're going to have energy to get it done? Again, don't judge yourself. This is not something that you came into this world knowing. And it's not anything that most of us were taught. In fact, it's something that we're still figuring out as humans. So if you can get clear about your goal and make it a real goal, you can even make it a SMART goal. Look up what a SMART goal is if you don't know what that is. And then once you have a plan, then you have to gather up your resources and find your energy to get the project done. And if you're never going to be able to find the energy to get that project done, then you need to redo the project and make it so that it's a project that you can get done with the energy and resources that you have. And then set yourself up for success instead of habitual failure. And oftentimes people think they need to hire a professional organizer, but the reality is that they need to do those 2 steps before they even reach out to hiring anybody. Or they don't even need to hire a professional organizer at all, because those were the steps that they were missing. They can do the actual organizing. They know they can. That's why they haven't hired anybody else to do it yet. But if you can get those 2 steps of what is my real goal here and what resources am I going to use, and a plan to actually execute it, and off you go. So we can talk about more parts of the house, but this is the approach: is make a plan, make a real plan, make a SMART plan. Get a goal that's a real goal. Set ourselves up for success. And then if you get to the end of the plan and you say, okay, I have all of these things and I have all of these things, but I really don't know how to color code a closet. That's when you can hire a professional organizer, and they can come in and throw a little bit of money their way, make sure they get taken care of, and they will make sure you get taken care of as well. So I do not do as much professional organizing work myself in homes anymore, but I am training professional organizers and working with other professional organizing consultants. So if you have professional organizing needs, check out this video and my website, and we'll love to connect you with professional organizers in your area who are looking for closets to color code.